Welcome back to Media Amateurs. Today it's Milla, and I'm here to talk about whether VCE media kills creativity. When I was first given the question, does VCE media kill creativity? The first thing that came to mind was yes, it does. Because how can you be creative when you're always being told what to do? When we're giving assessments, things like that, kind of rules that and guidelines that we should follow by. But after thinking about it for a while, I came to the conclusion that that's not true, and that creativity has nothing to do with the guidelines you're set. I always thought, oh, well, if I could do what I want, then I create something so cool. If I didn't have to do these stupid assessments, but I don't think like that anymore, and I came to the conclusion that it's not the guidelines, it's what I'm creating. So if I can make a water bottle ad fun and entertaining, then that's creative. Not an ad for whatever I want to do because it's my idea and my creativity. It's more what you can do with what you've got. I realized this when Georgia and I did our podcast, and we weren't motivated to do it, nor did we think the content we were creating was interesting at all. The Australian film industry was really hard to talk about because it just wasn't that interesting. But we did want to continue on with the podcast, and we tried and we filmed it. We said a lot of our own opinions, and when we got to recording the intro, we were like, oh, this isn't, we need something to add to it, and we decided to play music. And Jay was really keen on that, which really reinforced our self-esteem when it came to creating content for media. I find it hard to create in media because there are a lot of issues you can run into that kills your creativity, and it's not the subject itself, it's the issues that you can find when doing it. So if you're doing a film or something and you require actors or people to help you out, and they begin to try and put their opinion in and try and change your work, that can really stump your creativity because you'd like to please them so they'll stay and help you, or you just want to do what you think other people will like, which can really kill your creativity. And although you are trying to create content that you know people will like, it can really stump your vision of what you want to see on the film and what your idea was to begin with, because you can really lose your story if you start listening to other people's opinions. And I mean, that doesn't mean you don't have to listen to people's opinions, because sometimes it can help it can help hearing another person's perspective. But when it's changing your vision completely in your story, well, it can be really hard not knowing what to do. Maybe you might think, oh, well, maybe I should go with that. That could create a better film. Or you might think, oh, wow, I really want them to stay in my film. Those are issues you can run into that could kill your creativity. So, another thing that could really stump your creativity is equipment. So, if you do not have the most amazing equipment to create the most amazing vision, it can be really hard. Sometimes you're just going to have to write to a budget, and that's really hard. But if you know how to tell a story through just a camera without needing all this fancy equipment, then that is creativity at its most. So sometimes you just got to think, I've got to work with what I got. What can I do to make this film creative without breaking my budget? And it is hard, but it is possible. So you just have to keep trying. So, to answer your question, does VC media kill creativity? The answer is no. It's not necessarily the subject that stumps your creativity, it's the issues you may run into. And everyone's aim should be to make their assessment interesting and entertaining in their own way and create content with what they have. So, thanks so much for listening. This was Milla, and you were listening to Media Amateurs.